a different kind of freedom. In the 70s, freedom had a different meaning. I remember my friends and I would leave the house on our bikes on a Saturday morning and just disappear. We'd ride for miles through quarries and woods, looking for a good fishing spot. Our parents didn't have a way to track us. There were no cell phones, no security cameras. They just trusted us. They trusted us to be smart, to be careful, and to be home before the streetlights came on. That kind of liberty seems almost impossible today, but back then, it was just life. It taught you how to be independent, how to navigate the world on your own. It was a freedom that came with a little bit of risk and a whole lot of responsibility. A quiet respect. There was also a different kind of respect back then. You were taught to be respectful to authority figures, like the police. It wasn't about fear, it was just how things were done. If you got pulled over, you said, "Yes, sir," "No, sir." And more often than not, a respectful conversation could get you out of a tricky situation without any trouble. The past hippie generation, who were now part of the workforce, had a more relaxed approach to things, which reduced a lot of the unnecessary confrontations. It created a community where understanding often trumped conflict. It was a time when a little bit of respect went a very long way. The art of dating. Do you remember the terror and the thrill of asking a girl out in the 70s? There were no text messages, no DM. You had to walk up to her in the school hallway, your heart pounding in your chest, and actually talk to her. Or even worse, you had to call her house on a rotary phone and pray that her dad didn't answer. It was terrifying, but it taught you courage. And when she said yes, that feeling was real. Dates were thoughtfully planned. You'd go to the movies or share a meal together. And without the constant distraction of a phone, you actually talked. You made a real human connection. It was an era that taught you the importance of effort and sincerity in a relationship. Unplugged vacations. Vacations in the 70s were a true escape. When you were off from work, you were off. There were no cell phones buzzing in your pocket, no urgent emails from the boss. A day off meant complete and total freedom to relax and recharge. I remember my family packing up the station wagon and heading to a state park or the beach. We spent quality time together, actually talking, playing cards, and just being present. This unplugged approach allowed for stronger bonds and memories that have lasted a lifetime. You return to your routine feeling genuinely refreshed. A time when a vacation was a real vacation, not just a different place to check your email. The drive for independence. The 70s were also a time of driven youth. We were all eager to spread our wings and leave the parental nest. There was a strong desire for independence to establish yourself and make your own way in the world. I remember so many of my friends working a job while going to college, not just for spending money, but to pay for their own place. The era's relative affordability made it feasible for many young adults to live on their own, which instilled a deep sense of responsibility and achievement. It was a time when being a grown-up felt like an achievable goal, not a distant dream. An education you could afford. And a big part of that independence was an accessible education. Higher education in the 70s was far more affordable than it is today. I remember being able to attend community college while working a full-time job and actually being able to pay for it without going into massive debt. That affordability extended to universities as well. And a full-time job back then often came with health insurance, which provided an extra layer of security. It was an era that empowered you to pursue your dreams without the burden of a lifetime of debt. The social scene. And, of course, there was the social scene. The social culture of the 70s was vibrant and experimental. High school parties were gatherings where music, laughter, and a sense of freedom thrived. While drinking was common, and sometimes even encouraged, other things were more discreet and less accepted by the older generations. These gatherings were spaces of experimentation, where we explored boundaries and societal norms. Despite some of the risks, these encounters fostered a sense of camaraderie and identity among us. It was a blend of rebellion and community that left us with stories we'd probably never tell our own kids. Looking back, maybe it wasn't perfect, but there was a sense of freedom, a respect for others, and a realness to life that feels harder to find today. It was a time that shaped who we are. What do you think? Was life in the 70s truly better? Let us know your memories in the comments below. And if this trip down memory lane resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe for more.